shake it up. Shaking up the garbage we feed on. Shaking up our wondrous being. Let's begin to reform. Even if just for a moment, to share the cloying and the suffocating skin. Let's shake it up right now. Let's shake it up right now. Let's shake it up right now. Shake it up. Languishing in thoughts, lucidity doesn't benefit the greater cause. Driving blind and clawing wildly, wreaking havoc, banging heads against the wall. Let's shake it up right now. Let's shake it up right now. Let's shake it up right now. Let's shake it up. Shake it up.
Wailing at the hope struck numb by rules that make no sense at all.
Let's shake it
Let's
up
begin the
right
reform.
now.
Let's open up the door. Let's shake it up right now. Let's utilize the power. Let's shake it up
Right now. Let's shake it up right now. Let's shake it up right now. Shake it up right now. Let's 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 shake it up right now.
Wonderful to be with Charlotte Shaw. How are you, Charlotte? How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm nice and warm. I'm wearing a vest for the first time, which is exciting. Um,
Welcome to the UK. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Everyone's got their tops off.
and we'll talk about that in a moment as well. Your journey is very much so. I want to say first of all, it might sound like a strange thing, but you've got a great name,
Thank you.
Charlotte Shaw. It kind of just
Rolls off
rolls,
the
doesn't
tongue?
it?
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
Charlotte
Yeah.
Shaw.
I had a chat with my mum before she named me. I was like, Mum, I need something that works well because I have this dream and I know it needs to work well. So thank you, Ray. I think your name rolls off the tongue a little bit as well.
Do you really?
Well, Ray Coates. No, I think it's nice and succinct.
Thank you.
No worries.
I think Raymond Coates, that's even worse.
Oh, I don't know. That's got some punch behind it.
Has it? Maybe
little bit.
it's the way I say it. Well, I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. It's very,
No
very,
worries.
very gracious of you to say.
No worries.
We've already begun. It's fantastic to be with you. How I want to share you is pretty much how I do with most individuals, which is where you are at the moment in the sense of creatively, what's happening. Of course, we need to talk about the single as part of that. Then I want to journey into your arrival of where you've come from, and I think that's in a very, very physical journey way as well. So I want to kind of bring that in a moment. But tell us what's going on now.
Well, now I'm sort of just locking in terms of just creating lots and lots of music because I've always been writing songs and I've always sort of just coming up with hooks here and there, but never really seeing it through to the end because I'll go, oh, that's a nice little sing, and then just like on to the next, and I wasn't ever really finalizing it. And then I realized that's probably not the most intelligent thing to do. So I've sort of started just kind of writing songs through to the end and working with different people. So I've got a guitarist that I'm meeting next week who sounds quite in line with the sort of music that I like doing and keen to write some stuff together. And yeah, obviously I've worked with a producer to make this recent song, and it was just really, really cool to see sort of something that was in my head just come to life like fully. And it obviously is a lot cooler to have something as a final product rather than just me like humming to myself, and working with other people and bringing that together. So yeah, just sort of trying to get as many things that are in my head out in a final product so I can just kind of share that with people, because it's been years and years of writing lots of different things and just not actually eventuating any of them. So yeah,
I
that's
love
where I
that.
would be creatively.
Eventuating.
Yeah,
Eventuating them. What a
yeah.
brilliant word, eventuating.
Thank you.
Bringing them into eventual being, eventuating.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic. That's fantastic. I really like that. So, with what's going on for you, you've got this collaboration that's coming,
Hmm.
and that's enabling you then to take the creative aspect of you with someone to
Hmm.
form the ideas that you've always had.
Hmm.
Tell us about the single, because we are pre-recording this. I often share that with people listening because there's a lot going on with a lot of people, and of course these things take preparation in advance.
Yeah.
So July the 18th is the single release, which is
Hmm.
when this will be aired. Okay.
Exciting. Yeah.
So now tell me, let's just imagine we've transported from time of recording, which is kind of mid June-ish, to July the 18th. You know, we want to know all about the song.
Yeah. Awesome. So the song is called Bye Boys. It's my first ever song that I'm releasing, so I'm really, really excited about it. When I first got to London, I had like a creative month for myself, and I just sort of had saved up a lot of money and allowed myself just to kind of sit for a month in the hub of London and just meet with as many people as I could and get involved with however I could. And in that month, I wrote this song, with a producer that I met. And the song kind of, I don't know, I didn't really have an idea when I went into it. So Jack sent me, the producer, he sent me a backing track, and I was sort of listening to it and kind of coming up with things. And I sort of just came up with the little line "Bye Boys," and I thought that's quite, I don't know, it can have lots of different meanings to it. And I've never wanted to have anything sort of just like against, a relationship or against guys or anything like that. It was just more so I wanted something to lead you towards talking about prioritizing yourself. And I feel like you can easily distract yourself from focusing on yourself by putting your attention on others, and most typically kind of in relationships and things like that. So I sort of wanted to write a song that was kind of catchy and lighthearted, but it had a lot of kind of deeper meaning behind it. And to kind of, yeah, inspire people, especially girls, to sort of go after whatever they want to go after. And just sort of, yeah, put themselves first. So that's what the song's about. And I
That's a
hope that comes
great way to
across.
begin. That's a brilliant way to begin as a first released single,
Yeah.
as a statement of intention, which is very, very self-empowering within its message, but also, of course, does that for many others as well. Because even though, of course, it's by boys equally, I
Hmm.
think in some ways all of us put stuff into other people in the sense of our fulfillment is
Yeah,
based on a relationship with somebody else. So
exactly.
that's powerful. That's really, really powerful. And in that month that you said about, we'll come to the landing in London in a moment.
Hmm.
But in that month, so did you have that intention of in advance, I'm going to spend a month getting to know people, and within that, I'm manifesting, I'm picturing the conclusion of that month. This is what's going to happen. You had a
So
desired
yeah.
outcome without that sounding like that was a bit contrived.
Mm.
You had this plan. This plan.
Kind of. Well,
Yeah.
I had this plan of when I wanted to, because when I sort of moved over, I didn't really know where I was going to end up. I didn't even know if I was going to be in London. I just kind of knew I needed to go somewhere else. And then I thought when I did a bit of traveling, I really liked London. So I came back, and for a month just kind of went, my intention is just to kind of see what's out there, what opportunities there are, and just meet as many people and get involved with what's going on, because there's just so much going on. So I didn't really have a specific goal that I wanted. I just knew that I wanted to just start exploring and start getting on with what was my sort of reason for moving over. Sorry. and yeah, I don't know. I like writing this song sort of surprised me at how like easy it came, for example, because I've always just built it up in my head to be such a big thing. Like, oh, and I think that's what stopped me from doing anything with songs previously, because I've just kind of got it in my head that it was this big sort of production, and it just came quite easily. Like yeah, it was literally 2 sessions, got it done and then recorded, and then obviously it's taken me a little while to get it to the point which I'm happy with. But yeah, so that was a surprise. I didn't know that was going to be something that I ended up doing. And then yeah, ended up meeting heaps of different people that were involved in the arts and wanting to then get me involved with other things, and it was just very much a meeting people and seeing what happened after that interaction. So yeah, I didn't really have a specific plan, but kind of worked out.
Amazing. And with the writing of Bye Boys and the recording of it, the process, has that shifted how you feel towards the future songs that you're working on? That now you've kind of found that confidence of thinking, right, wow, okay, that's it, I can do that. Has that within itself made you feel differently towards the potential of recording for future projects?
Yeah, 100%. I think it sort of made it seem more attainable and more sort of like realistic. So I think it's going to be more of a case of, as soon as I have an idea, just doing something with it rather than sitting on it and just kind of like talking yourself in and out of doing something with it. So just actually acting. That was my year of the word, to act. My mum gave it to me because she was like, Charlotte, you're such a procrastinator. You just like overthink everything. So she said, Charlotte, you need to just act. So yeah, 100% doing it and proving to yourself that you could do it will make it a lot, I think, give myself the confidence to do more and record more. And I think once you prove to yourself you can do it, then it makes it a lot easier to go and do it again.
That's a powerful message for our listeners as well, because of course everybody listening might not be a singer-songwriter per se. But I'll tell you one other thing that came to me from what you said is you used 2 words, attainable and realistic, which based on the one song that I've heard of yours so far, based on what I see of you in social media, that's the qualities that you share. So your music, perhaps a different word to attainable, is accessible. So that message, Bye Boys, can speak for a number of people, which is fantastic, and realistic. You're very, very grounded. We cannot leave this discussion without talking about the massive, I am going to call it a leap of faith that you took. You know, the song that comes to me is, I'm leaving on a jet plane, don't know when I'll be back again. And we're going to come, I mean, people are detecting from your accent, but I thought I left the south of the UK, so kind of just outside of London.
Yeah.
And one of my sons said to me, before I moved to Blackpool, so the northwest coast of the UK, he said, Dad, take a leap of faith. I thought it was a leap of faith moving from just outside London to Blackpool. Now, over to you, Charlotte, to talk about your leap of faith and really, I think, dive into why, because that took a lot of courage and strength to do what you did. So if you can share the what and the why, please.
Of course. Well, firstly, I think your leap of faith is still a leap of faith. I think it's very much everyone doing anything different is going to take a bit of courage. Mine was just a bit extreme. So yeah, I moved from Australia, from Perth, which is my hometown, to the UK. So a nice 18-hour flight, which was lovely. And the reason for the move, I think, was, I don't know, I've always had this sort of innate feeling that I was going to just, I don't know, you know, when you just know it's a given that this is what you're going to do, and you maybe not acting on it at that point in time, but it's just kind of, oh, it's fine, like that's what I'm eventually going to be doing. And I'd always had this kind of feeling, yep, I'm going to be performing, I'm going to be doing something creative. And it was initially, okay, after I finish school, I'll go travel and I'll work that out for myself. But then I finished school and COVID had just happened. So I went to uni, just sort of passed time, really enjoyed my time there, but just always was kind of going through without the intention of kind of doing anything specifically with that. It was just kind of, I was doing it for the sake of doing it, and then, but that's fine because I'll always do something creative anyway. And then I finished uni and I kind of went, now it's kind of up to me to actually do something with that. There's only so much you can do with having this feeling that that's what you're going to do. Sometimes you do need to actually, do something about it. And there was just, yeah, I love my hometown, but there's just really not much creative going on over there. And it's obviously, the most isolated city in the world. So there's just really nothing connecting you to it, and it's very insular and it's lovely, but you can very easily just sort of stay there and be in your own sort of bubble, and that's lovely, and that can be for certain people. But I just think, you're in the young ones, you got to go. If you don't leave at a certain point, you can very easily just stay there. So I just kind of ripped the band-aid off and went, look, I just need to remove myself and take myself somewhere, just shock the system and work out what I'm going to do, because I felt like I was in a bit of a daze. And then, yeah, the UK was sort of similar culture. My parents are English, so it didn't seem as daunting as somewhere like America, for example. And I don't know, I like British people. I like their humour, so I just thought, it could be nice to go. And then, yeah, didn't really have too much of a plan whatsoever. Came over and then just did a bit of travelling around, worked out I wanted to go to London because it was just the creative hub. And yeah, then obviously just had to work out how I was going to make that happen. But yeah, it was very, very, I don't know, I thought it would be maybe a little bit easier than it was. It was just, I don't know, I think going anywhere by yourself and just kind of being in a completely different country, like different time zone, you're just going to go, what am I doing? Like, where am I? What's going on? Like, you're in such a sort of adrenaline state before you leave, like seeing all your friends and family, building it up, everyone's so excited for you. And then you get there and it's just starting from scratch, nothing, don't know anyone. And then London's obviously at the best of times quite a lonely city, so it's just very much, it was definitely an adjustment, and it's only really now that I'm sort of 6-7 months into living here that I'm starting to feel a bit more of a sense of community and seeing the reason why I've moved over, and seeing the benefits that it obviously holds being in such a creative area. So yeah,
let's just pause there for a moment, because you did come with intention. I think everybody does. I moved with some form of intention, for a variety of different reasons, some personal, some creative. But yes, I get what you said about the stage of life that you're at. I understand that, of course, and that makes sense, because it's a good time to do it. But you've also touched on it was a challenging thing to do. So I'm now going to kind of expand on the why, because ultimately, what do you want to achieve by what you did? Because if you do anything and you think, well, I'm going to do this, I think, I don't know, I can't think of an example. I'm looking around me for one. The room needs tidying up. It doesn't actually overly, because it's pretty good. So it's not,
well done.
it's not a confession. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the room needs tidying up. So therefore, what I've got to do is then start moving things. And I have a plan as to how tidy it's going to be.
Yeah.
And the order that I'm going to do those things in. So moving was a big thing. Here you go. I've got it now. Got it. Bing. Yeah. What's the big thing that you want to get out of the big move?
Well, I mean, in terms of the obvious thing is I want to be able to do singing and performing as my sort of living, right? And I think I want to be able to share as much of my music as I can with as many people as I can, and sort of just, I don't know, I feel like I've grown so much as a person in this last year, moving out of home for the first time, moving to a different country, sort of meeting all of these like really individual people with so many different stories to tell. I just sort of think that there's so much learning that I want to share with people who I think might be maybe too scared to always go after what, might not be the norm, but what feels right to them. So I kind of want to just, use music as a way to encourage other people to do what I sort of took a bit of time to eventually get around to doing. So, yeah.
That's brilliant. That really, really is, because again, it's back to that attainable, accessible, realistic. And you're using music as the means to convey those messages to others. So that's fantastic. I'm gonna really, really go for it now.
Go for it.
I am. Thank you very much.
Okay, no worries.
And I knew you'd encourage me, which is this. Is there any chance at all that we might have a little sneak preview as to what some possible future song titles might be.
Ooh.
Because they change. I know as a writer, sometimes I give a song title, a song a name, and then it changes. So you're not creating any issues of copyright or anything, because of course they could be different. But I just want to get a little insight into the flavour of some of the material that
Ooh.
you're going to be creating, maybe.
Should I pull up my voice notes? This is where
Go.
I keep all of my songs.
Oh wow! Oh, this is even more exciting than I thought it would be.
Let's have a look and see what I've named some of them. Oh, one of them I've got I Dare You to Let Go.
Oh, let's just pause there for a moment. I dare you to let go.
Yeah.
That's good.
What's that about?
Yeah.
Let's have a look. What else have we got? We've got. Okay, wow. We can tell we're definitely on a certain theme.
Yeah.
You Can't Contain Me.
Bye, boys. I dare you to let go. You can't contain me. Wow. So
Wow.
I'm not suggesting, by the way, this is not kind of like the album is now currently being written
Yeah,
as
this
you're
is it.
watching it. But yeah, because there'll be loads of songs you're writing. But I think that's great. But and the reason I do is often as creators, all of us, and I think this can manifest in different ways. Perhaps somebody's setting up a business. Somebody's going into a relationship. They kind of share that once the thing's complete. I think in relationships that kind of makes sense at times. We're not actually going to declare to the world yet
Yeah.
that, as an example, we're in a relationship because we want to see how it goes. Kind of
Yeah.
get that. Creatively, I get it as well. Want to release the finished product totally.
Yeah.
Business, lots of work goes on. But I also feel we're living in a world now where, for those of us who are not yet at the position that I really feel strongly that you will be in the future, with more people knowing about you and your creativity, is sharing the journey is good. So I'm so pleased that you didn't refuse the question and think, no, I need to keep those on the down low. You know, you shared there is stuff happening.
Yeah, well, I mean, I suddenly went, oh gosh, have I come up with any names? So I'm glad I have, because a lot of the voice notes also just have the location that they've been recorded in. So I was like, that's not the name of the song.
But brilliant, and that's the creative process. So I think that's really interesting for those who don't write songs. So I know my various devices that I've got. I'm walking, I'm talking, I'm singing a melody into it. I'm doing loads of different things. I've read something, I've seen something, boom, down that goes. So it's 24/7.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Creating is 24/7, so that's
And
wonderful.
when you I don't know if you have that, but sometimes you're like sleeping and you think of like the best song in your head, and then you wake up and you try and do something with it and you go, oh, that's not quite what I was jamming out to my own song in my head, going, oh, that's a good song. And then you wake yourself up to do something with it and then it's gone. So that's when I can't sometimes come up with some good songs. I don't know about you.
Totally. Opposite, head on the pillow. Right, okay, sleep now, tired, long day, yeah, ready to go to sleep now. Oh, hold on a minute. All right. Apparently I'm not going to sleep. So then therefore up, keyboard, predominantly. That's where I write from. And many, many times that's happened. So I said in a recent interview, I think it was with Ryan Kershaw, just to give a shout out there, that I made a deal with Inspiration several years ago, because I've always written, but I stopped for a while, quite a lot of years. And then I've come back to it relatively later in life with a phenomenal passion and energy
Yeah.
that I write so much.
Love that.
And what I did was I said to Inspiration, I'm ready for you to knock on the door any time of the day. And I'm always available. 24/7, I'm available. You can come anytime you like. In fact, the door's open. You don't need to knock.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I said. And then,
Wow.
it was just whatever fum means. I don't know what fum means universally, but fum apparently in this occasion is the experience I had.
Lovely. That's awesome. No,
fun-
that's really cool. Yeah, a fun. That could be the start of your next song.
A fun moment. Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's happening for you. That's happening for you, which is why you've moved to make more of that. In the sense of you were doing that before you left, and you've taken a leap of intention, and now that's working because the evidence is there. Steps, you've got collaboration, you've got writing that you're doing at the moment, albums. What about live performance? Is that with the guy that the guitarist? You
Yeah,
playing?
so that was sort of my thought process behind it, because I mean it's awesome to perform live, because you get to engage with the audience, you get to see people singing along, and it's just like as a performer, it's a rush that you would get when you're on stage, and it's obviously a really good way to just sort of get yourself out there as well. So being a singer, it's nice to have someone else on stage to maybe sort of bounce off and play the instruments live. So that's kind of the intention behind that. But I went to my first 2 open mic nights this week. So that's just getting back into the groove of performing live. So that was really nice. And the one last night, they had a pianist and a guitarist who got up and played with me to some songs. So that was really enjoyable.
Where was that? Can you name
that was
those places?
Yeah, so the first one I went to was in Finsbury Park, and it was called, let me find it, it was at a pub, and I believe it was called World's End Pub in Finsbury Park. That was a really, really nice bar.
Great name. Great
Yeah.
name.
Yeah, I guess. But that was a really nice vibe. And then the one I went to yesterday was in, it was kind of near Greenwich, Canary Wharf area, and that was called the Angel of Bow. And that was a really nice welcoming atmosphere. I didn't know anyone. I turned up by myself, and there was just a group of people who sort of obviously go quite regularly, and they were like, come sit down, come have a play. So yeah, that was really, really nice. So it's just if anyone wants to obviously go and have a play, like there was people from different walks of life. There was a lovely older guy, I think maybe in his late 70s, and he just sort of found his passion again for performing, and he was like, I'm writing all these songs, what do I do with them? So he's starting to go play them. So yeah, very, very cool.
Amazing. And it is that community you talked about, isn't it? When we think of it in terms of being human, you've given an example there, 70-year-old creator, and in those places, which they're all over. Even I went to Gran Canaria, Puerto Rico, Gran Canaria recently for a holiday, and I was looking, and there were places of karaoke, but there were also other music venues as well, and you think, yeah, wow. So it's universal, ageless, genderless, without belief system, etc., etc., etc. So great way of connecting with people. And I think for you, if you got, we'll come into the media side of things in a moment. Have you got a website, anything like that, where?
I do have a website. So if you want to have a look on there, I guess this will be coming out when the song's live, but there'll be the music video, which I recorded for it. That will be on there as well. So it's charlottekshaw.com. K is my middle name. There was no charlotteshaw.com available. So charlottekshaw.com. And then, if you want to follow me on Instagram or TikTok, it's charlotte.shawxx, 2 little kisses at the end. So yeah, I'd love any support, and if you have any sort of inspiration from the songs, I'd love to hear about your individual stories as well, because I think it's cool to build a little community.
Fantastic. Is the K an initial in the website?
Yeah, so it's just
K.
Charlotte K as the letter Shaw.
Fantastic.com. Brilliant. So I'll make sure that's known. I think in conclusion, there's a couple of things I want to achieve before we part company for now.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm glad you feel the same way, because that's how I feel.
Gutted.
I don't quite know what it is. By Ray. Never mind by Boys. Yeah,
by Ray. I'll go write a sad song about my departing from Ray.
Brilliant. The follow-up by Ray.
Love it.
Is tell us about you've told us a bit about By Boys, really talk about where it's going to be. You talked a bit about the video. I'd like to know a bit more about that. Also, I want you to introduce Bye Boys. So it's your voice introducing it. And finally, a self-empowering message for the listeners.
Okay. Wow, what a task. So a bit more about the song and the music video. So recorded a music video in one day, which was a task and a half, but it was very fun. And did that with a friend that I made at a lovely creative sort of workshop. So it was just us and a camera, no big set, but we recorded it in a bar in Greenwich, which apparently has had lots of different singers perform there. Frank Sinatra had performed there, so I didn't even realise that it was as sort of topical as a bar. Yeah. So performed it there, and that's a lovely sort of telling and story behind the song, just to visually kind of put it all together. So my empowering message for everybody would be just to listen to yourself and your inner voice, and whatever that's telling you within means, obviously, just kind of go after anything that is, no matter how long you've been thinking it or how old you are or wherever you are, just go after what you feel like is right for you, because you can always kind of go back to wherever you've come from, hopefully. But I just think it's important to just stopping yourself and living in your own head and just kind of go and give everything a go, and just, because you don't know what's going to happen. So I just think you give it a go, why not? And just kind of, live your life as you want to live it. Don't have any regrets, because, you don't know what's going to happen, and just start thinking what's the best thing that could happen rather than what's the worst. There you go.
Great stuff. So now, if you can introduce Bye Boys.
So, my name's Charlotte Shaw, and I'm excited for you to listen to my debut single, Bye Boys, which will be hopefully an empowering song for anyone out there to kind of go after their dreams and their goals, and put yourself into the relationship with yourself before any other relationship, and say bye boys, bye distractions, bye anything that's holding you back, and have a good sing-along.
You can go and succeed at whatever you damn please. Tell me how, tell me when, tell me who, I'd be there.